coming soon. Until then, enjoy the vibes.
My baby, your body's on fire. Hey, body's on fire. Johnson. My baby, your body's on fire. Hey, body's on fire. My baby, your body's on fire. Yeah. This one I can do with the jabba. Me, I no get time on the jabba. Dada cover my face, calling me lava. Biggie man, we know the where I money, what's it come? Chewbacca, all depend. We can ride the wind, and the it, die for nothing. My nigga, what's it come? Chewbacca, all depend. We can ride the wind, and the it, die for nothing. Make you no say anything when you do, they must commentate.
I can't come and kill myself.
Anything when I did do, I did try to they do on my way.
I can't come and kill myself.
Plenty survive we face just to make sure money day. All my people that go say I know one buy, I know one die, I know one payment. I want enjoy, I want jump life, I want buy me food, I want build house, I still want to know. Tell me, money, what's it come? Chewbacca. All the penny, they get it, why the money, and the fee, die for nothing. My nigga, what's it coming? Chewbacca, all the penny, they get it, why the money, and no fees. Different things, them happening, schemes and packaging. In a one night for shows, I'm juggling. Flow like the ocean, my boat, I'm paddling. Tradition up, Bella, that's my bro, my family, goes in chains. When it comes to money, I take concentrate. Like I tell you straight, you are not my mate. If you become mission, I be head of state. But my people then go say, I know one bike, I know one time, I know one payment. I want enjoy, I want jump life, I want buy motor, I want build house, I still want to know. Tell me, my nigga, what's it come? Chewbacca, all depend. They can get ride the money, and the beat, die for nothing. My nigga, what's it come? Chewbacca, all depend. The gallon, ride the women, I know it, die for nothing. Oluwabana,
All right. Hello to everybody. Please press a 1 if you can hear me. I am having technical difficulties already. So I don't know if that's a sign from God saying, daughter, don't do it. Press the 1 if you can hear me. Okay, thank you for letting me know. And then can y'all also hear music in the background or no? Because if y'all can hear music in the background, I'm going to put my headphones on. I just want to make sure y'all can hear me without any extra noise in the background. Yeah, we got several med checks that need to take place today. And I promise that I'm going to try to get this. Okay, good. All right. So we're there with that. Thank you. Okay. So I hope everybody's having a good day. I will say that. Hey, Rodney, I heard you had a really good live today. I did miss it, but I heard about it. So Let me go ahead and speak to everybody. Let me get myself together here because I'm just kind of getting agitated a little bit. Okay, let me start at the top, y'all. All right, Christopher W., thank you so much for that med check. Yes, Trinity Girl, hey. Sahara, welcome. Jill's Comfort Zone, it's so good to see you. We got Mo's Kitchen and Home up in the building. We have Kathy P. up in the building. Why do it look like Kathy? Is that Kathy? Is that my Kathy? Because it sure look like a younger version of you on there. Pretty Saucy Leo. Hey, boo. Creole Butterfly, so good to see you. Soul Sister number 1 show. Hey. Empress Lonnie Love. I think I'm about to end up putting them headphones on because this shit is aggravating me to the back. PDP, hey, boo. L Blue, it's so good to see you. I'm about to offend some people, so if y'all don't feel like being offended today, this probably won't be the live for you. I promise you. Okay, we have CEO, Little Boss Lady up in the building. Jay Parrish, it's so good to see you. Swag Found, hey sis. Prima Donna, it's so good to see you. Haven't seen you in a minute. We have Alexis, hey boo. And thank you to all those that was helping with the sound check. We got Betty White, says she'll be in the trees. Okay. Don't fall out and get yourself hurt now. We got Rodney. So, like I said, if you guys haven't subscribed to Rodney, make sure you subscribe to his channel and support him. He did reach his 1K, so congratulations with that. We also have Misunderstood. And when I am done with this live, we're going to go over there to her channel and support her. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. Let's see where we at. We have Vibrant. Vibrant is also the moderator of the quarter. So we do appreciate you here, Vibrant. I appreciate all of my moderators. Okay, it's not the Kathy. Kathy, you look just like my friend Kathy, like my real life friend Kathy. Like you look like a younger version of her in that picture. So that's why I was like, wait a minute. Because I know most of my friends don't really watch me on YouTube like that. Sincerely, A Nadia. Okay, so let me see. Yummy Yums, it's good to see you. And we also do not want to forget about YouTube Camera. She is up here in the building. Now, this Saturday, Benz will be having her competition. Benz, you decided to wake up? Yep, I aired you out. I was just talking to Benz a little while ago, and Benz went right straight to sleep. Okay. All right. So Benz will be having her competition this Saturday. It's going to be at, let me get this off the screen, Central Time. It is going to be at 7 p.m. in Eastern Standard Time. It will be 8 p.m. They have a $500 pot, and it will be split. One prize will be for women. The other prize will be for men. Okay. So Christopher W., are you still in the challenge? Okay. Because the last I checked, it was you and Noble. Y'all were the only men in it. I know Sheila E. I don't know where she's at. Okay. But Sheila E is going to be in the contest. So I'm going to be over there supporting. I actually have an appointment that day to get my hair done. And it's actually at the exact, well, the contest starts at 8 my time. My appointment is at 7. But I'm going to somebody new that I've never been to before because it's just a whole bunch of other stuff that's going on. But I will be in the building and I will be supporting. And I also did sponsor a Bad Bitch palette. So I don't know what you're going to have to do in order to win that. But just make sure that you're supporting Benz, as she's always very supportive of all what I do over here. Okay. And y'all know what I say, fair exchange ain't no motherfucking robbery. So can I ask y'all a question? Can we be real today? Can we be real and can we have an honest conversation? or are we going to keep on just like playing games or whatever? Right. And I wanted to come live earlier, just morning with this, but then just, life. And I said, let me go ahead and do this before the night is out. So I just want to know before I get started, because everybody can't handle the truth. The truth makes some people feel uncomfortable. Some people only acknowledge the truth if it's against somebody that they don't like or dislike or whatever. But can we call everybody out? What's up, Fake Bonding for content and views? So far, I didn't see, and Dr. LaShonda, it's good seeing you. I didn't see anyone telling me to stop. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go with this conversation. Let me move this off the screen for right now, because I don't want anything that I say for anyone to take that and then to attack, Benz, right? Because she doesn't have anything to do with what I am saying. Everyone is welcome, but respect is not up for negotiation. Like, I give respect and I expect to get respect back. I also expect that my guests who click the link are respected, and I also expect that people in the chat are respected. If they're not bothering you, don't come in here bothering nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's just plain and simple. It's plenty of places where y'all can do that. This is just not one of those places, right? So we're gonna go ahead and get started, right? So it's been a lot of talk the last couple of days about this whole predator thing and stuff like that. Even some people who felt the need that they needed to explain to me what the definition of a predator was. I'm far from stupid. I don't need anyone explaining to me the definition, what it means, and blah, blah, blah. When people are calling somebody a predator over here in this sector, y'all know exactly. I'm sorry, y'all. That's my TV now. Hold on, y'all. Hold up. Hold on.
Man, I want to get this guy so bad because he's out here killing.
Pardon me, y'all. I'm always losing the damn remote, so I connected the TV to my phone. So I was trying to do something. Anyway, I got a bunch of sound. That's neither here nor there. Let me go ahead and get back to the conversation. Okay. So when people use the word predator over here in this sector, you know exactly what the fuck they're talking about. Okay. They're not talking about none of this shit, this quote unquote, the dictionary or whatever. Okay. So I want to start with this. Now, this live is not about ZX. Will he be brought up in this live? Yes, he will be, because he also became a part of the commentary. Okay. So in no way, shape, or form am I doing this live to defend anybody, whether it be him, James, or whoever, because number one, they don't need my defense. They don't need my help. Those are two grown-ass men who can speak for themselves, right? But a lot of times when you try to make a point and you try to explain like what you saw or why you feel the way you feel, people want to turn into and say, well, S. Hutchinson and ZX, they talk behind the scenes, right? So let me ask y'all a question, right? And let's do a little, let's get practice for a little bit of trivia, because we're gonna be doing trivia probably this weekend. And I'm gonna do it for members only. I want to go ahead and kind of return the love to my members and my Patreons, right? So we'll probably be doing some trivia, probably either this week or this weekend or something. But I'm gonna do it soon. It won't be past a week from now, right? So people talk about me talking to ZX behind the scenes. But does anybody know how it came to the point that me and ZX ended up talking behind the scenes? So I'm asking the chat, what led to me and ZX ever conversing outside of a YouTube chat or YouTube platform? Does anybody want to tell me in the chat how that happened? Let me see. Hey, BBW. So Deidre has eyes, so I'm thinking that Deidre doesn't know how that happened, right? Because she put eyes. She didn't say what happened, so I'm assuming she doesn't know what happened. Okay. So Mo, ding, 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 ding. Your number was leaked. Why does Mo also know this information? Because Mo's number was leaked. Okay. So when we were doxxed and our information was put out there or whatever, and of course, people don't want to hear it because, oh my God, you doxxed, or you're the worst person on the face of the earth. So anything that's done to me is supposed to be okay, right? But people are quick to say that I'm behind the scenes talking to ZX, but they won't explain to you how we ever got to the point of talking to each other behind the scene. Okay. My phone number was plastered on YouTube and he gave me a call, right? Now, he could have been like the guy that was calling me before when I was doxxed and was breathing all in my ear and talking all of this sexually explicit stuff. Because let me explain something to y'all when it comes to just like doxing and stuff. Sometimes things are doxed. It's supposed to be to embarrass somebody or whatever. But there are other times when people are doxed and other things happen. I even played a guy on my phone breathing in my ear and telling me about me sucking his peen. Okay. You guys heard that and y'all witnessed it in real time. Okay. The person continued to call my phone, blocking their number and saying all kind of graphic stuff every time I went live. And if you guys can remember back to what I told you guys, I said that a lot of that behavior started when a lot of oh no, it definitely happened, Deidre. That's exactly how it happened. Trust me. Believe me, that's how it happened. Okay. Now, could somebody else have gave him my number? It's very possible. But either way, he didn't get my number through me. I didn't say, here's my number, give me a call. I didn't say, here's my email, hit me up. During that time when everybody's information was put out and was leaked, that's when I got the call. I seen receipts to back it up. Okay. So with that being said, and I'm not saying that I need no explanation to why I talk to anybody. You see what I'm saying? Because the last I checked, I'm grown as a motherfucker. And the only person that should have an issue about whom I speak to on the phone is Mr. Underscore. And if Mr. Underscore is not checking me or correcting me about some other stuff, then no one else has the right to question me or say anything to me about that. But I'm just trying to bring y'all up to speed on how it came that I ever first had a conversation with him, right? Okay. So I appreciated him for letting me know what was going on, or whatever. So we're going to start with that, right? So people say he's a predator or he's this or he's that. But did anybody care about that when he called me on the phone? Suppose if he would have called me to talk slick or sly or whatever, which he didn't, you know what I'm saying? He was very respectful. Therefore, I was respectful back to him. One thing about me, if you give me respect, I'm going to give you respect back, period. Because I feel like, human to human, it is what it is. You get what I'm saying? But also, a lot of the other people's numbers that were leaked, they were not content creators, all with the exception of, let me take it back. So 2 other people were content creators, but neither 2 other people were in the beef sector. So I was the only person in the beef sector whose phone number was put out there, right? Okay, fine. So we had, so he hit me up, he let me know, very brief conversation, respectful, that was it, right? But people will be quick to say, we have all of these people who are predators, but you guys don't have any problem making these phone numbers available to said, I'm going by y'all words, predator, right? But of course it's me, so nobody gives a fuck, right? When it comes to me, it doesn't matter what's done. I could be shot, stabbed, beat down to the ground, and motherfuckers still gonna say, but she did this, but she, you know what I'm saying? It's always a but with me. But when it comes to other people, it can be, well, that's just so-and-so being so-and-so, or we know they're a little slow, or, oh, they're our only child, or whatever, right? But despite the things that I tell y'all that I have to deal with, the things that I battle with every fucking day, and even though I'm doing the best of fuck that I can do on most given days, that's still not good enough, right? So, anyway, I wanted to bring that up to y'all as far as the phone. So then I also had someone that said, well, you sent him a picture of yourself. I didn't, and again, I don't have to explain this. The only person I ever have to explain myself to is the person I made a commitment with, God. Okay. And that would be Mr. Underscore. So I don't have to explain anything to anybody else. But I'm just telling y'all that this is what the fuck happened, right? So they were like, oh, you sent him a picture of yourself. No, I stated that I sent him a picture. I never said I sent a picture of myself. I didn't say I sent you a picture of Marley. I sent you a picture of the motherfucking sky, the moon, the stars above. You know what I'm saying? But people just took that and ran with it and said I sent him some pictures of me. That never happened. Okay. Now, when we go back to as far as James' platform and everything that took place over there, I still stand on what I fucking said. I'm not switching up shit. I don't feel that James did anything wrong. I know some people, they're taking the story and they're saying, well, James did this because I don't give a fuck why he did it. I don't think nothing was wrong with it. But let's get into something else, right? Because if we're going to call one person out, let's call everybody out. And if we're going to call everybody out, I feel like when you really think about it like that, a lot of people don't have shit to fucking say, right? Now, should all predators be treated equally? No. Even though predator by definition could be different things, right? But I'm talking on a sexual level is what I'm talking about, right? So we have people who are saying that they're so appalled by someone talking about doing something to somebody sexually. Again, I don't condone that. I never have. I never will. But like I said, when ZX called me a bag of bitches, when he had the right to defend himself because I was speaking of him. He wasn't the topic of conversation. I was talking about men that were disrespectful. And what I was saying was, I think that people shouldn't be allowing certain people to hit the link. I don't know if anybody can remember this conversation, but Deidre, if you can recall, I believe you were on the panel that day, right? Now, even during this time, I was getting a lot of smoke from people, even in my own sector, saying, you can't tell people how to run their page. You can't tell people what to do. You can't tell people how to do it, right? But all during this time, my platform had never been made available to ZX, even though I was, subscribed to his page and shit like that. I used to like when he used to talk about the stuff, basically dealing with like pro-black type of stuff, even the stuff with the cult talk or whatever, right? So we get into the situation with him, and for me, sometimes when you're getting at somebody, because we really don't have any rules down here as far as like what is going too far, you get what I'm saying? We use children, deceased people. It's what they say, cradle to the grave, right? It's no cut cards about anything. However, if we want to think about this sector and as far as sexual predatory type of behavior, how many times have we had to hear about some shit down here that we shouldn't know anything about, or we don't need to know? How many times have we had to hear about men, and it's not about just a gay man thing. I'm talking about every fucking body. I'm talking about everybody. But we've had to hear about douching. We had to hear about shit on a dick. Am I lying? Just correct. Whenever y'all hear me tell a lie, tell me, drop some roller skates in the chat. Whenever y'all hear me lying so that I can stop it and y'all can check me, right? How many times have we had to hear about, and not even just with one person with shit on the dick? I've heard about that more than one time, more than 2 times, more than 3 times, right? And although they call this the gay sector or the this, that, or whatever, all of us here are not in the fucking community. But hold up. This is not about just man on man. There's a lot of times that even with women over here that's in the LGBT community, the lesbians, that said they're not being protected. How many times have us straight women had to hear things about them doing what they call it, an ice cream sandwich or some shit, some terms and shit? I don't even know what the fuck they talking about, right? But I also get it. I think a lot of people who talk about sex a lot, those are people who aren't getting any. Because if you're getting some, you're just gonna do it. You don't need to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And what I notice is the people who are in relationships, or at least healthy relationships or marriages or whatever, you don't really hear them talking about sex all like that. But it's always the ones that would tell you that they got somebody. You know, they always got to give you some extra shit. You know what I'm saying? So how many times have there been conversation with same sex details about stuff? I don't mean no harm, but I don't really want to hear about nothing with women in this sector, fucking niggas in this sector. I don't want to hear nothing about the women on each other, women on women bumping pocketbooks, and I don't want to hear nothing about shit on the dick. I'm not interested at all. Okay? Not interested. But we've all had to hear about it. What is consensual shit on dick? Was it consensual? Well, one time they were saying that it was, and one time they were saying that it really wasn't, or they was pressured or whatever. But whatever it was, you know, and don't get me wrong, when someone's talking about something, if you don't want to hear about it, all you have to do is click the fuck off. That's at least what I do. When the shit starts going left or whatever, BBW can tell you from back in the day on Blab. When she pull that pickle out, I'll be like, all right, sis, I'll holler at you later on. And it's not because I'm a nun or I'm so prude or whatever, but a lot of times when you know, single lady, you know, they on it with the pickle or whatever, it brings a certain audience over. And when certain people come around, they think that they can then engage with everybody on that level. And I'm sorry, but I respect myself. I also respect my king. And I'm not engaging with no man about no crazy ass stuff or whatever. I'm just not going to do it. Okay. All right. So we all have choices to click the fuck off when it's some shit that we don't want to hear. But what I am saying is that people are acting as though they're so appalled because they heard about this or that. And some people may be appalled by the shit for real. You know what I'm saying? Because I do also think that a lot of people, we're all dealing with, well, I'm not saying we're all dealing with, there's a lot of people who are dealing with trauma, right? Whether it be childhood trauma, whether it is adult trauma, whatever, right? And some of that stuff can be triggering to some people. So what I often say is that when you're beefing with somebody, you might be trying to get at that person, but you may end up affecting other people by your comments. But again, that's not my cross to bear. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'll say some fucked up shit, but it's certain things that I don't really do. I don't, if y'all notice, I don't really drag kids. I might drag somebody's parenting. Um, I don't, I just don't do that. Like I don't really talk about or comfort people's kids. There's enough shit on here that I could talk about people. I don't have to comfort their children, whether their children are minor children or if they are adult children. Because if you are a parent, you know that no matter how old your kids are, those are your babies. So you don't really give a fuck if they 3 or they 30. All the same to me. At least that's how I see it. Okay. So I don't have any more respect for your 3-year-old than what I have for my 30-year-old, if you get me. Okay. And a lot of times people want you to be up in arms about some shit that nobody was up in arms when the shit was happening to you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's deaf, dumb, blind. They didn't hear it. They didn't know it. They didn't see it and all this other stuff. So I think even when Megabus has been on this whole tour of she's a victim, she is far from a victim. She's a sexual predator. Again, does that make what he said right? No. 2 wrongs don't make a right. But what I'm saying is if you don't like it done to you, don't do it to others. Okay? Even if because you're a woman and you're used to being with a woman that you think it's okay because you're sexualizing another woman. Why do I need to know what intrinsic stomach look like? Why do I need to know that she had 11 motherfucking surgeries? Huh? Why do I need to know that? Why do I need to know what's going on with Bambi? Why do I need to know what's going on with Bambi's minor child? Didn't we have to hear about Bambi's minor child and up underneath of her child's clothing? I'm still waiting for a motherfucking roller skate to drop in the chat because I haven't seen anybody tell me to stop or check me the date that I'm making this shit up. Because we had to hear that this one had to teach this one's daughter, whether it was a lie or the truth, it doesn't matter, how to wash her puss. That's disgusting. That's still somebody's child. And I don't even think that that's a conversation that should even take place on social media, period. Period. Okay? So what we're not going to do is act like we're so, oh my God, Megabus. Somebody said this when she talked about people's lupus pussy, children's pussy. She didn't show us goddamn pussy. Have she not? I believe the fuck she have. I don't give a fuck if she scrabbled on that motherfucker or not. She forced us to see it, putting it on her community wall post. And was I one of those people who just turned a blind eye? No, I hit her up, even behind the scenes. Can you please take that down? Can you please take that down? No, I'm not going to be harassed. I'm not going to be scared for my life. What do being scared for your life got to do with these ladies in their most vulnerable, situation? Which again, I don't understand anyone giving somebody something like that, especially on YouTube. I just don't get it. Like, y'all know what this sector gives. Y'all know what social media gives. But somehow y'all keep getting yourself into situations that later on you have to say, well, and I'm not condoning anybody doing it, but what I'm saying is there's no motherfucking way at all. You could probably try to tell somebody what it looked like, but you won't be able to back that shit up with no motherfucking pictures. Okay? All right. What did a content creator in the beef sector not make his platform available for a stalker of mine to come over and talk about me sending nude pictures of my body? Gross. Receipts where don't exist, never happened. And even though I'm quite sure they knew it wasn't true, They didn't mind indulging the conversation. Nobody was up in arms about it or anything. When Wild Eye said that because I'm gonna call it what it was, he said I raped my children. Okay. He said that on a platform with over 1,800 people on that live. Heavy hitters, huge platform creators. Tasha K was on that panel when that was said. Larry Reed Live was on that live when that was said about me doing that to my children. And then said that my children were taken away by CPS. My kids don't know a CPS. Okay. My kids ain't never lived with nobody outside of me and their father. That's it and that's all. They ain't never lived with my mama. They ain't never lived with no family member. Ain't none of that negative. Didn't happen. Now, I put the video out and I even played the clip, and this was over on Conscious TV's platform. Now, Conscious TV did jump in there and say, Wild Eye, don't say that to her. You know, ain't nothing like that happen or whatever. Oh shit, my charger. So, Conscious TV had said something or whatever. Later on, he found out the hard way that Wild Eye, is a sick person, But and I told him, I said, he's doing this to me. I've done nothing but try to help him. You know what I'm saying? But we have a lot of people who will target you or come after you because they're trying to impress somebody else or whatever the case may be. When I get done with this live, I'll make sure that I share that live and you guys can hear it for yourself, the receipts. I played them 10,000 times, but nobody cares because it's me. It should be able to be said to me as though I'm not a woman. Right? Now, let's talk about women, because a lot of times when people think about these sexual stuff, this unacceptable, we think about what a man is saying to a woman. But there are a lot of things that women, and we absolutely should not do it to each other because we are women and we ought to know how hard it is to be a woman. So we definitely should not be trying to hurt each other. However, do you guys remember when I came and told you guys how my ass was touched? When I was out doing something with some YouTube people, I spoke out about that, right? Not even in the sense where I was trying to air anybody out or anything like that, but I was just like, just because you're a woman, you still don't have the right to touch another woman's ass, period. When I came and told that story, I was a liar. I was making up lies, and then it was about revenge. And I'm going to get revenge on you. So now I'm going to get into your life. I'm going to get into your personal life. And I'm going to start pulling stuff from your real life and bringing it to YouTube, because now I'm mad because you said this about my friend or whoever the case may be. These are all things, like I said, even to this day, anybody ever wants to put up the money, I have no problem taking a lie detector test today, tomorrow, tonight, next week, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said then, and I'm going to say it again, if I wanted to accuse a woman of doing something inappropriate, I'm gonna at least accuse somebody that got a motherfucking name. I'm not gonna accuse somebody who nobody don't fucking know them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna do it for attention or clout, I'm gonna make it make sense. Many things, but stupid ain't one of them. So when that happened, since then, it's been about revenge with a particular content creator. Now, when it comes to this content creator and it comes to me, it doesn't matter what's going on. I don't even think he believes half the stuff that he says, but he does it as a way to like antagonize me or whatever. People will see this person constantly insert their self in my personal business. Now, this is the same person who went and published these text messages that were between me and my moderators. And I have the right to talk with me and my moderators about any goddamn thing that I want to talk to them about. Okay? However, that person found it necessary to read my private messages. But now everybody out here is so alarmed about men and doing unacceptable things to women. But you guys can only call it out when it's ZX. But we got people so-called in this sector right here doing the same shit. And everybody is on shh. They ain't saying a goddamn thing about it. Now, like I said, I told y'all this conversation will piss some people off, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Y'all focused on the wrong shit. And if you're going to call something out, call everybody out. But don't act like, oh, it's because this person came over here that this happened. It's a whole lot of fucked up shit that's been going on over here for a long ass motherfucking time. Just like if I'm beefing with Pam, that's between me and Pam. I don't need no motherfucking body else to get their self involved in it. So even when I said something the other day about the exchange with me and ZX, and I said it happened at Nika's platform, that wasn't to take a so-called dig at Nika. I'm just stating the facts on what happened. But I saw one of her supporters in the comment section, because, you know, I don't look at the chat when I'm up on the panel, but, you know, it got to me that this particular person has said something smart, right? And I just said, you know, okay, this is the last time I'm going to let this person fucking slide. You know what I mean? Another thing, which I know this don't got nothing to do with being predatory or whatever, we need to let people deal with is let grown women deal with shit with another grown woman. I don't need nobody else inserting themselves in some shit that don't have nothing to do with them. Because I assure you that I was not on that panel by myself. He didn't get kicked off the panel when he called me a bunch of bitches. And I believe he said he would smack me if I'm correct. And I said, I don't believe you. And this is not to start no beef with ZX, but I'm saying these are the things that happen. Nobody was up in arms about it. But I also knew that I spoke on him. So, hey, he got the right to defend himself or whatever the case may be. But even when they were talking about yesterday, men hitting on women, how many times have I been threatened by men in this sector to put their hands on me? Not once, not twice, at least 3 times. At least 3 times. By 3 different men. So look, my sis BBW, she went live the other day. She was doing her commentary. And she started talking about, she was talking about, you know, people talking to grown people in a certain type of way, yada, 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 yada. So she brings up ZX or whatever, right? So another content creator, I found out later on, they get upset about her opening up her platform to him. And I thought, well, this is really funny because the same person who was complaining about BBW opening up her platform to ZX, if I can recall, he threatened you on your own platform, and I came from the chat and hit the link to defend you, to which you still allowed him to carry on and still come back and hit your link. So when people sit here and they talk shit about ZX, I'm just not really moved by it, because once upon a time, a lot of these people were cool with him when he had already said certain things that was outrageous towards other people. But guess what? They didn't care because it wasn't them. When motherfuckers wanted to take people down in the beef sector and wanted to get people's channels snatched and wanted him to help get a flag team going on, they didn't mind working with him then, did they? Not right now, Rhonda. I got to go through my commentary and I don't want to be distracted. So when they needed some doxing information, they wanted somebody investigated, they had no problem. Yeah, unk this and unk that. Now these are the same people. When unk is in motherfucking James chat, they so motherfucking appalled that they can't even motherfucking withstand sitting in the goddamn chat. Oh, I gotta get out of here. I can't be here. Oh, I'm so, huh? When did it become a problem? After y'all parted ways over some money or some shit, or what? I'm confused. I'll wait. So my thing is this. For a long time, I try to play by the rules of at least what I see the rules, my own rules of, I don't really entertain people from other sectors like that. I don't speak on other sectors and what the fuck they got going on, their beefs, their situations. I'll support anybody, but for the most part, when I'm supporting people from other little areas, I stay in the clouds because I don't know what the fuck is going on, and I really don't even try to figure out what the fuck is going on. But people are complaining about the heterosexual men disrespecting women and all this other stuff. But how many women have we seen on their pussies at these men? Huh? How many times have we seen women entertaining these men, arguing and fighting over these men? Are the men creeping through their windows, or are they meeting up with these motherfuckers? Let me know. Right? How many times have we heard women on here after they had met up with said, people? We've had to hear about pumping and dumping. I made the bitch swallow. Huh? But now suddenly, oh my God, everybody has virgin ears. Everybody has virgin ears now. Everybody's so appalled. Everybody's so this or that. We got to hear who can't get it up, who is getting it up, who putting fingers in the ass. I don't know about y'all, but I don't need to hear about none of that shit from nobody. So again, it's choices. I have the choice to listen, or I have the choice to click the fuck off. How many times have we heard women on here tell another man that they beefing with to eat their pussy or eat their ass or eat them from the back, the side, whatever? Y'all gonna tell me y'all haven't heard that too? We done heard a lot of stuff being detailed. Balconies, trash dumpsters, in cars. Now, I know some people have had to defend themselves because, information was brought here. They didn't bring it here. So, okay, well, I'm going to defend myself. Okay, fine. You defending yourself. But how many times have we had to hear? I mean, we know the sizes. We done seen some of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into misunderstood right quick, right? Because, people say, oh, she ain't beef sector. And she's not. I won't sit here and act like she is. But oftentimes, she's been used for beef sector content. And this is not an opportunity for anybody to bash her in the chat. If you do it, you're going to leave the chat. Because that's not what this is about. You said not too much on the balcony. Wait, I must have forgot. Hold on now. How I rubbed it in Tracy's face. How you be screwing your husband at the first show. How'd I be screwing my husband? When have you guys ever heard me talk about screwing my husband? I'm going to wait for that one. Don't get quiet now, chat. When have y'all ever heard me talking about fucking my husband? No one has an invitation to my bedroom. So I'm not going to have a conversation behind the scenes with my good Judies. And I ain't going to have no conversation on YouTube. Never? Okay. And you know me how long, Mo? Okay. Okay. So, like I said, misunderstood, right? There's, oh, she ain't beef sector, right? But I just want to give y'all an example. When I know I didn't see it for, because like I said, I never was pressed for like people from other sectors coming over. You know what I'm saying? I've never been the one like, ooh, merge. No, that's never been my thing. But it was once upon a time she was being forced down everybody's throat. But now, because some people have fell out with her, now everybody else is supposed to fall out with her and throw her away and do all this other stuff. No. But let's talk about sexualizing, right? How many times have that lady been called Jesus jugs? How many times have we heard, oh, she got a nice pair of tatas? So is that okay because it's another woman saying it to her? Yeah, we need to do the report card challenge again. So why should I know what misunderstood's cootie cat look like? I shouldn't. Now, no matter what she did or whatever website it was on, if I didn't go to the website looking for it, I should have never seen that shit. But the main people that was passing that shit around, make it so bad, it wasn't even men. It was fucking women that was passing that shit around. And one woman proclaimed to be her friend that was passing it around. But now suddenly everybody's so appalled. And this person is doing too much. No, everybody's doing too goddamn much. Everybody's doing too much. There are so many examples that I can sit here and bring it back full fucking circle. I can bring it back full circle on different things that I've heard people in this sector say. To me, completely, like I said, hey, say what you want to say. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. We've had to hear about used dildos. We didn't have to hear about turds in the ass, blood on drawers. I mean, come on now. But now everybody's so sensitive. Nobody has clean hands. That's my whole point. And then, like I said, it's some things that I try not to do that I don't want to do. Like, no matter what people do when it comes to my kids, I still choose not to drag kids. I might say, fuck the kids or whatever, because y'all don't care about my kids. Fuck everybody else's kids. But as far as like just flat out dragging people's kids and shit like that, no, I don't do that. Now, I do say, if your kids are so special, spend some time with them. That's not a drag. What it is I don't understand how is it that you want somebody to care more about your kids than what you care about them. And if they so special and they need so much assistance, then go fucking assist them. Because I'm quite sure your kids would thrive even better if you logged the fuck off and tended to them kids that got special needs. But that's not what they're doing, right? But this same person, Megabus, and yes, I'm gonna be biased because I don't like her, and I can be honest enough to say that. But I can also say that I'm also stating facts. What did she say about Little Bill? Didn't she call him radio? I think she did. Didn't she talk about Mimi's daughter being special needs? But everybody's been out here on a campaign of she's a victim. I'm confused. I'm confused. She's not a victim at all. Again, does two wrongs make a right? No, it doesn't. But if we're going to put our foots down and say that some shit needs to stop, a whole lot of shit needs to stop. And if you don't want men to sexualize you, start respecting yourselves first. Start respecting yourselves first. Because I'm telling y'all, a lot of women, at least what I'm witnessing or seeing, I see a whole lot of lack of self-respect, lack of self-control. You can't run out here and act like a prostitute or whatever and then get mad when somebody talks to you like one or treats you like one. Don't sexualize your own body if you don't want somebody to do it. Does that give a man the right to do it just because you're doing it? I mean, that would be like saying, well, he took advantage of you because you had on a short dress. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody about the color of the inside of my hoo-ha or whatever, because I don't want anyone talking to me like that. I don't invite that type of energy. But you have a lot of people who they invite that type of energy because that is how they talk about their self. That's how they talk about whomever they're with. That is how they freely and openly speak, right? Let's also talk about something as far as the straight women, right? So the straight women, we're supposed to respect gay men, lesbian or bisexual women or whatever. But when we say we're straight and that's that, how many straight women have been accused of being lesbians? Because I know I've been accused, not by one person, since I've been on this app. 9 years straight. I ain't never gave anybody a reason to say anything differently. But yet they still, oh, I think she's bisexual. Oh, she has orgies with her husband. Oh, this, oh, that. What? But how many other straight women, when it comes down to a read and a drag, the drag is supposed to be that you out here dyking. If y'all feel so good about what it is that you are, why is it that y'all want people? Why y'all looking for company? I'm confused. You said Joanna, you have? Press a 1 if you're a straight woman and you've ever been told that you were bisexual or gay or something like that. And I never heard that until I came here in the beef sector. I never had nobody in my real life say no crazy shit like that. And maybe Liz, you haven't heard it because you're not a content creator. I think a lot of times they say stuff because they want you to respond back, and it's content. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we got misunderstood with a 1. Alexis is not even a content creator. 1. Lavender Spirit, 1. Pretty Saucy Leo, 1. Laurie says never. Again, she's not a content creator, but glad y'all are answering this, because again, this is not really about no attack thing, but it's just like it's a lot of things that's unacceptable. If you tell somebody that you're straight, that's it, and that's all. Yeah, that's true. Even with the supporters, if they're just a subscriber or a moderator, if they're a man, automatically they're gay. We're voting on if you're a straight woman, but you've been accused of being bisexual or lesbian over here in this sector. And all the people who say it, or at least all the people who have said it to me, are in the community themselves. So how is that a drag? T Lounge says 1. Yeah, they do. I agree with that. They do lump us together just being over here. And for me, I always say that there are no straight men over here. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's something I see. I'm checking myself. That's something that I need to stop saying. You know what I mean? I just know that a lot of the people that constantly say that they're straight, they're not behaving in straight ways, right? But that's still no excuse. And then we've seen some of these people and how they engage with the LGBT, and then how when they get into an argument with them, they go into a full homophobic rant, but they behind the scenes, they in the inbox with them, they on the phone with them, they doing all this extra shit. I don't know who Snaggerpuss is, Joanna. You know me, I come up with some names for some people, but I don't even know who the hell Snaggerpuss is. But okay, Joan A says 1 as well. So it's like it's stuff like that. If you feel that being a lesbian is such a good thing, then why are you looking for my company? Why you want to put me in a category with you as a so-called read? Number 1, I always say, what's the read? Because I'm grown. And if I ever wanted to be with a woman, I would be with one. Why? Because I'm grown as fuck and I can. Oh, tiny ways. Okay. Well, Christopher, you know what? You never gave me that thought, but I don't really be thinking about you like beef sector like that. So that's why I don't. But like I said, I'm saying all this, and I'm also checking my own self, because if we're going to talk about it, let's at least look at the behavior, and instead of pointing fingers, let's say, well, look, let's try this moving forward. And if the behavior is not going to change moving forward, then everybody needs to shut the fuck up. Because see, even with what another person is saying, like what's his name? Like a victim on. Anything he says irks my soul. You know what I do to avoid that? I don't go to his goddamn channel. The only time I'm forced to hear some shit he talking about is when he clicks somebody else's panel. And once again, it's still up to me to stay or to fucking leave. We all have choices. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Right? But you know, they think that shit is funny or it's cute or whatever. But you know, but now this other thing too. Now, people are saying because people or a lot of people in this area have dealt with sexual trauma, that men shouldn't say certain things and sexualize them because it could take them back to a place where they felt unsafe or this or that. But a lot of us women, and I've talked to y'all about it before, I have dealt with domestic violence. I've told y'all about that. So I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's cute when a man is threatening to lay hands on me, especially if I'm not talking about fighting a man. But they're mad with me and they talking about smacking the shit out of me, stabbing me, or doing whatever else to me. That can be very triggering as well. Let me tell you what is very triggering to me. And I didn't even really get it until I was listening to one time I was listening to Rebel and I was listening to his content. And he was like, he said, I think because of what you've been through in your past, you get triggered when a man is like screaming, hollering, or yelling at you. And I never really even thought about it like that. And I was like, that's exactly what it is. Because in real life, nobody from my sons, my husband, my brother, not my father, not my grandfather, none of them don't call me no bag of bitches, cuss me out, raise their voice, screaming and yelling and doing all that other crazy shit. When a man with a man period just talking to me in an aggressive way, that's already that's already triggering for me. So if we're going to respect that some women have been through sexual trauma and these type of situations are triggering to them, which we really shouldn't even have to say that, because these conversations shouldn't even be being had, to be honest. Honestly, they should not be being had at all. And sometimes, even though you're trying to hurt one person, sometimes you end up hurting other people who actually may like you, may support you, may have never done anything to you. But they may have some unresolved trauma that they're dealing with. But the same thing goes for these men who are quick to talk about hitting somebody. A lot of women over here have been through domestic violence situations. How do I know it? Because we done talked about it over here on the platform before. And that's not okay either. You know why they do it, J Truth? Because they're allowed to get away with it. And because it's me, nobody's up in arms about it. But you know, they had a whole goddamn campaign to save Jay Dunn the last couple days. A lot of people been through shit. So my suggestion is that none of us really have clean hands. And we need to think about, and don't get me wrong, when you going to fuck off, you liable to say any fucking thing. Because let me tell you something. When I go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 bipolar, bitch, I could say or do any motherfucking thing. When I black the fuck out, it's gonna be what the fuck it is. And that's why I don't understand, especially when I'm minding my business. Why do people poke, provoke, and provoke? But then when I respond, they don't like how the fuck I respond. Why the fuck was you talking to me to begin with? Now, I was also listening to King Roman's content from, I think it was yesterday. And I was listening to it, I think it was last night. And he was saying that basically, let me see, I don't want to say verbatim, this is what he said, but give or take, he basically said that the OGs have pretty much like retired, and that even if they're going to talk about something, their commentary is going to be biased because they already have history or they have an issue with the person or whatever, which is true. Like, we know that. But I think part of the issue, as far as like the OGs not speaking on certain things, I think that comes from the fact of when we came into the game, we didn't come into the game using each other for content. There was once upon a time when the only person that was doing news was Tracy. Tracy was the first news lady. Before Tracy started doing news, Terralon used to do news, but it really wasn't like news like that. He might talk about one thing or two things in like a 5-minute video. And then when Tracy started doing the news or the beef sector news, she first started out just kind of telling you where she left her shoes and where you could go see what was going on and stuff like that. And then we all know the story. Her and Fi, they got into it or whatever. Fi said, I'm going to do the news. Even then, you had Tracy and Fi doing the news. And that was pretty much about it. Then it became a thing where everybody was reporting the news. And you even see it now. Whoever starts talking about it in the morning, that's going to be the last thing you hear at night. Because every platform, they're going to recycle it based off of who they like, who they don't like. They're going to talk about it over and over again or whatever. It's not that I feel as an OG that I'm above speaking about a newbie. But the thing is, what is it for me to talk about? If it doesn't concern me, it's nothing for me to speak about. And even when it does concern me, and even when they bring me into some shit, 9 times out of 10, y'all don't see me respond back. Y'all might hear me say something, or I might unsubscribe or whatever, but I'm not going back and forth with no motherfucking new people. I'm just not. Just like I don't fight with nobody around the corner and down the street, I'm not fighting with no new person. I'm not fighting with somebody for the most part that got here after me, especially if I see how the fuck you got up in this motherfucker. I don't think so. And half of us have fought each other so many times. We done said every fucking thing under the goddamn sun to each other. What the fuck is left to say? Yeah, I had heard about that. Well, let's be honest, that she was taunting her about being essayed. But see, nobody cares until it's done to them or till somebody says it to them. And child, I'm not even going to get into that because that's just going to go completely somewhere motherfucking else. But so we've been at over an hour. Is there anyone that would like to add? I know some people have the link already, so if you do and you want to come up, you're more than welcome to do that. If you don't have the link and you want to come up and add something, feel free. Oh, there was something else I wanted to bring up. And I'm going to just kind of glaze over this. Somebody had reached out to me about a beef going on between 2 content creators. It is not my place to get involved with other content creators beefing. If I cannot bring peace, then I'm not going to do anything. Okay? So if I can't get it to be a ceasefire, then there's nothing for me to do. I'm not going to speak on it because I'm not going to talk about two people that I support or whatever. Again, I don't do YouTube news or whatever, right? I can't tell you always what's going on because I don't see everything, I don't hear everything, I don't know everything, and I won't pretend to. I know that we're all adults on this application, and we have a choice on whether we want to engage, ignore, or respond. When it comes to my real life and the things that I have going on and the things that I need to have going on and the things that I need to do, my cup is full and overflowing. I'm not about to take on any other unnecessary drama, period. And point blank. It just ain't going to happen. I don't want to discuss it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to get into it. Now, if there's ever a situation where I can bring peace and harmony, I'm all for it. I cannot tell people what they are allowed to say on their platforms. I just know what the fuck they won't say over here. Okay? Right? Because if you got an issue with somebody, you take that shit down the street around the corner. Right? So, I think it's a little impossible to think that I should, when it comes to some things, I think we should get in. When it comes down to like, okay, kids, like how I had the conversation with Rodney, some people had an issue with that. But I felt like the sound bites are children. They don't have a platform. They're not here on YouTube. They can't speak for themselves. If I'm cool with both them two people, I can't make those two adults not beef with each other. But what I can say is, brother, man, I think you can keep that on that sister, and that's bad enough. But she ain't got to go to the kids, and that's it. And that's all. No harm, no foul. I'm not upset with Rodney. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to get in the middle of other grown adults and how they choose to engage on this social media application. I'm not going to start beefing with somebody that's been good to me. And I'm speaking on both ladies. I have no problem with them. Two total different relationships, but we're just going to leave that right there. Because sometimes you end up doing more harm than you end up doing good. There was once upon a time I used to get myself involved with every goddamn thing. And you be out here just swinging and swinging and swinging. And those people with makeup and you out here looking crazy. You people telling you got to take over spirit. You know what I'm saying? You being bossy and all this other kind of stuff. So what I do now is I say less and I do less. And what I need to do is be and do more when it comes to my platform, my content, and what it is that I came here to do, because somewhere in my travels, I got lost too. Okay. And I think we all can get a little bit lost, because I know what I came on here day one to do and what I'm doing now often gets overshadowed. That's a choice for me and a decision for me. So before I check anybody about their platform and what they're doing, better I check myself and create some content of my own. Because see, when you actually have content, you ain't never got to speak on what another motherfucker's doing. See, people that's always talking about what somebody else is doing and they giving updates around the clock and all that other shit, because they ain't got a motherfucking thing going on in life, on the internet or nothing. They don't have no content. That's not my testimony. So, again, I will ask any questions y'all have for me. Is misunderstood? Can I get you to respond? Because I want to see, are you ready to go live now or what? She didn't say that she was gonna go live, but I just figured like when I get done, maybe she could go live and stuff like that, because I know she hasn't. Well, actually, she was on last night, and I had missed her. Okay, so you're ready. Can you go ahead and fire up your live? Can you go ahead and fire it up? That way we can go ahead and just once you get your live started, we can just go ahead and transfer straight from here. And it becomes too much. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes even with me, I have to think about the things my doctor tells me to do. And if I drop to dead today or tomorrow, I ain't saying that all of y'all wouldn't give a fuck. Some of you might drop a tear or two. But just like everybody else, I will be old news. You know, the storylines will go on and y'all will find somebody else. It will be my children and my family who will be hurting until the day that they leave this earth. So I'm just not going to take on more than what I need to take on. It's just not even fair to me. Yeah, I don't know. Let me actually click onto another link that way I can see exactly when she has her stream fired up. Oh, okay. Okay. So she won't be ready right now. So let me go ahead. Let me drop the link. Let me see if anybody wants to come up. Maybe I can buy some time, misunderstood. I can't promise it. I've been asking, you know what I'm saying? Even though I don't need no help, but shoot, I be needing little times I want to stop and drink some of my Sprite. You know, I'm back on sodas again, child. And you have to take breaks. You have to take breaks. Because if you don't, you'll go fucking crazy. And sometimes it's not even about the stuff that you're dealing with. You know, just consuming a bunch of negative stuff all day. All day you're just listening to negative shit. Wait, you're gonna do a movie on your channel at 8 and 10? Be careful if you streaming movies on here. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. But misunderstood. If don't nobody. Okay, here she go. Is that what you mean, Soul? You still over there fighting with them people?
Hey, Shelly, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good live. I think you brought up some really good points. And yeah, I'm going to do my live stream, but I think that you touched on a lot of things that needed to be touched on and some things to think about.
I mean, what did you think about when people said things to you? Maybe you didn't care, but did you feel some type of way when people said Jesus jugs?
I felt some. I've always felt some kind of way, but when it comes to me and certain people, no one cares when it's done or said to them. They just feel like you deserve it or you're just discarded. So a lot of those conversations we had behind the scenes, I'm kind of lost out here. We had behind the scenes, but nobody cared, you know.
Yeah, it depends on who it's done to. And I've realized with me, there's no sense in me complaining about anything because if it's done to me, nobody gives a fuck. It's going to be, well, you know, she's evil or she's this or she's that. It won't talk about how I might be responding to what somebody is doing or how I might be asking 10 million times to be left alone.
There's a lot of clicks, and you're right. It depends on who it's done to. Like you can see, okay, so now you're a predator. You're a predator. How? I'm not calling you that, but I'm just saying that word right now is being thrown around, and it just depends on who it is. It's almost like there has to be a perfect victim. Everybody else, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be excuses made, and your feelings are going to be minimized, etc.
Right, but let's be honest when it comes to this sector in words. Whenever they learn a new word, they wear it the fuck out. Okay, I don't know if everybody has limited vocabulary or what, but just like when Cookie came over here and she was talking about male identified. Cookie brought that word over here. Every other second, it was male identified this, male identified that. You know what I mean? So whenever they learn a new word, that's what they did.
And the people calling other people male identified are the male identified ones. And like I said, what's okay for one person, it's like they can watch all these things happen to one person and justify it into somebody else. It's wrong. And it's just the selective anger for me. I kind of checked out when they started to throw around this predatory word. I kind of checked out. I just did. I
Right.
guess because of a lot of the things that I went through and I watched a lot of other people go through, and they make all kinds of excuses, blame the woman every time. I literally just checked out. And this newest thing with you, if it wasn't for you and who you are, they wouldn't be coming at you the way that they do.
Yeah. Or they want me to sit there and get
Right?
all crazy about it, but I ain't got time for that either. Like, once you show me who you are, it's up to me. Um, it's up to me to engage or walk away. And if I know that you're just trying to provoke me to get a response for clicks and views, I'm not going to do it. And that's the problem a lot of times too. People want to have the last word.
They want to have the last word.
Yeah, they want to have the last word.
Do you feel okay? So you did touch bases, and maybe I missed it when you talked about when the beef sector. You guys didn't always just cover each other. I understand you guys are each other's commentary, but you also gave other types of commentary. Do you see?
Well, I've always been
What do you
against
think?
that. And I've said for many years, I said the death of this sector will be people doing content on each other. And what I've seen, well, it kind of is like a death that has happened over here. But once upon a time, I felt like you could kind of have relationships, right? Not saying you had to be like best friends or whatever, but now because you're each other's content, people, they're willing to sacrifice you for the sake of content. They're willing to sacrifice even their own self, their own pride, their own dignity, everything for a click and a view.
But have you noticed it hasn't really gotten them anywhere? Maybe for a minute, but it hasn't
Right.
really created any real growth. Right? Like
Right, because you can't
just,
go
it's
with
very temporary.
yeah, you can't go. It's not but so many people over here. I mean, it's small, but it's huge, but it's small. You get what I'm saying? So if you're not doing something other than the B sector content, you're not going to get more than, I'm going to say, like, maybe I'll say tops 15,000 subscribers. You're not going to get more than that if your content is just B sector strictly.
Okay, so it's a numbers thing. How many people are in the sector? How many people are searching for this kind of stuff? And if you just stay within yourselves, how can you grow? And the ones that have reached like your status, or who else? Like, I don't want to mention their names on your channel, but the ones that you see that have reached over 20,000 have at some time or another covered something other than the sector and got their subscribers from the outside.
Yeah, I mean, even if you've seen like recently when Uncle Tim was covering Larry Reed, he was getting some good ass numbers. He was getting like 10,000, more than talking about Jay Wilson. But of course, Larry Reed has a bigger platform. You know what I mean?
Larry Reed has a bigger platform, and it's just smart to do. Now, I love when you guys, I love you guys. You guys know each other better than anyone else is going to. I haven't quite adapted to the newer people kind of clinging on, and if you don't mention them, they're gonna have some type of attitude with you. I just can't. I'm checking out from a lot of the stuff, but actually covering topics. When I first came and was introduced to a lot of you, it wasn't when you were talking about each other. So I don't know. But if you do talk about each other, you talk about.
This is the thing. They say you have to expand, but there are people here to talk about. You have, the other day, when I ended my live the other day, I said, Dear Self is live. Let's go over there and go support. there are other people to support. There are other people to talk about.
That's true.
But some people feel like once they don't want other people to grow, they won't fight with them because, well, I'm not going to go back and forth because then they won't have any content. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's like, I'm not gonna lie, I love you guys. Like I said, when you guys are talking about each other, I think a lot of people they love beef sector commentary, right? When it comes from you guys, because you guys know each other, it's a lot different than somebody looking and seeing what's going on and then trying to cover you. Or it's hard because if you fight with somebody, like I told you before, you fight with somebody that has a smaller channel or that's trying to get into the sector, they're the ones that's going to benefit, not you. And that's the fake beef that you see. Oh, let me pick the largest content creator in the beef sector and battle. You're going to already lose because of your name.
And I've been seeing a lot of that too. But see, this is the thing too. You do have a lot of the new ones that come around, and then they start just swinging on every and anybody.
Because they're trying to make a name for themselves. And it's like, if you didn't really have a friendship with that person, I mean, how can you be so angry at somebody you don't know? That's not really genuine. And it's do you, okay, we all know y'all can roast and drag. We get it. But it's no benefit to you to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
like
I'm just
you
not
say,
gonna,
ignore
I'm
it.
not gonna do it.
Ignore it. That's what I would do. But it's a lot. This word is being thrown around with the predator stuff. I really don't know what that's about because I took a break from YouTube. It was kind of funny hearing you talk about the jugs and kind of stuff like that. I mean, it's all a lot.
But see, if I say, well, people say misunderstood is Jesus jugs, they'll say, well, she has her button down on her shirt or this or that, or she sells her pictures. That's beside the point. If you want to call out one behavior, call it out. And I'm gonna tell you who had a really good live, and I need to go back and watch the rest of it, was Food Junkie. I listened to like a little bit, but I didn't listen to the whole thing because I didn't want his content. I didn't want what I'm saying to be like, a carbon copy of his thing or whatever. So I want to go back and listen to that without like, taking all of that in. Like if I go to listen to somebody and they're going to talk about what I'm going to talk about, then I'll click off and listen to it later on. And I know he had invited James to come up, so I don't know exactly all what they had talked about or whatever. But he was pretty much talking about the situation, at hand and how he felt about it and stuff like that. But I'm like, if we think about it, so many people have said things that have been completely over the top, come even down with children, some disgusting shit, sexual nature.
I know, and it's just looked the other way. I need to listen to it, but yeah. Did James hit his link when he asked you?
He said he was coming up, but I had left before. What I'm saying? I had clicked off before them, but I do want to go back and hear, what I'm saying, what they were all, talking about. I also like to hear different opinions because I feel like a lot of people were saying the same thing, yet disagreeing at the same time. And I think that anyone who personally had an issue with Megabus, they're not willing to hold her responsible. And that's just the problem that I have in general, because I gotta mute you until I finish talking because it's not coming back. The problem I have with Megabus is that she gets a pass that nobody else gets a pass with. She's allowed to do whatever she wants to do, say whatever she wants to say, be obnoxious, change the subject on panels, just do all kind of other stuff. And she's always giving, well, that's just her being her. That's just this and that. And a lot of it is those people have been bought. You know what I'm saying? She didn't got whatever amount of memberships or whatever. So they let her get away with a whole bunch of fucking bullshit. And I'm just glad that at the end of the day, I'm not saying that I'm rich, but I'm glad that I don't have to bow down and subject myself to some bullshit just to get a fucking dime or dollar. That's what. So let me go on mute.
Okay, I'm sorry. You guys, I'm sorry about the feedback. I can't hear it. But the thing is, you do stand alone, and you don't have to agree with a lot of stuff. And I just wish that more people were like that. You don't join cliques. You don't do any of that kind of stuff. And that's just what it is.
I'm too grown to do that. I mean, at the end of the day, I have grown children. And I look at some of these people who don't have a mind of their own that's go along to get along, or their opinion changes when somebody else says this, or none of that shit makes any type of sense to me whatsoever. Are you still gonna be able to go? You said you clicked up, Liz.
I'm gonna drop down because I'm gonna be live in about 15 minutes. But I'm gonna say this. I think that you bring up some good points. I missed a lot of what was happening when I took that week off, and I'm just glad that you're not falling for what a lot of the how I say. I'm glad that you're not going for a lot of the things that's going on. You don't want to join in with some of the conversations. You want to call some stuff out. You still do it. So I'm just glad that you're still staying true to yourself.
Yeah, I think people are just like, and even with me saying this, some people are gonna miss the point and think that I'm taking up for ZX. Me and ZX, I don't know him personally like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not about me taking up for him, but I saw what the fuck happened. You know what I'm saying? And then as far as making Megabus out to be a victim, she's not. And I'm never gonna let that shit slide. I'm never gonna let it slide that she's just this person who can't speak up, can't defend. I mean, her mouth is louder than probably anybody's in this fucking sector. And she has her own platform too. So that's another thing. If you feel like a person is not allowing you to be heard, all you got to do is go to your own page and hit the live button.
I haven't even seen that stream yet. I am gonna watch it, and I there's just a lot going on. I'm gonna jump down so you can finish out your show. But thank you for having me up, and good live stream.
Thank you so much. That's exactly what I'm saying, Liz. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I also think that, yes, a lot of people are doing lives. We're talking about it. I'm talking about it. But why don't we say, what can we do to change this? Because, see, I can't change nobody. I can't change Megabus. I can't change ZX. I can't or tell James how to run his platform. The only thing that I can do is try to be more cautious on what I say, and maybe not trying to take shit too far. I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but a lot lately, I'm a lot more, even if I'm on a panel with somebody, they try to start arguing with me, I'm quiet because I just don't even care to engage. You know what I'm saying? So I only have control of myself. So going forward, knowing that like how some things may trigger other people, there are people that I actually care about here. So I don't want to be so angry with somebody that I say something and now I've triggered a whole group of people who genuinely support me, or I've hurt or offended a whole group of people who support me. I don't want to do that. So the only thing that I can do is check myself and say, you know what? Because of what you're seeing, don't you ever go that far. Don't you ever go to a point where you're posting somebody's nude pictures and all that other types of stuff. Yeah, and that's another thing too. She just didn't want to do it because she's done it and she's gotten away with it so many times. So many times. And I think even with people saying like, well, people shouldn't have to get down so somebody could come up. You should not have to engage with anybody if you don't want to fucking engage with them at all. I don't give a fuck what's going on. This is YouTube, but you should not have to do it. And the thing about it is, if I don't want to hear what somebody has to say, I don't have to go to their page. But because people know that, they will follow you every fucking where you go and they will click the link because they know that you're there. If you're not there, they ain't even gonna fucking be there. They damn sure ain't gonna click the fucking link, but they're just doing it because that's their way of communicating with you. And if y'all don't see that behavior as fucking abnormal, I don't know what to fucking tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But nobody's willing to call that out. How many times does she want to hit a link and she's being told, I can't let you come up here because Shelly's up here right now? And what is she doing? See, the audience doesn't see it, but she's typing in the back chat. But she gets a pass for it. She gets a pass for it. And she does it all the time. All the time. How many times recently has she hit links and it says, oh, I'm hitting the link, but I'm still taking you to court? Well, if you're taking me to court, take me to court. Why talk about it? Just do it. That's what I don't understand with people. How many times you got to say the same motherfucking thing? Because I know what I made my mind up on. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing too, PDP. When you are live, sometimes it is hard to like grasp and get a hold of everything what's going on. And then when you got the bad sound, you got the chat going on, you're trying to look at this, you know what I'm saying? Just all kinds of fucking shit. But with her, she always wants to make it a moment. And she doesn't, and I think she does know that half these people really don't like her anyway, but they just tolerate her. But I'm going to tell you, there's not a super chat high enough. There's not a fucking cash app large enough for me to ever subject myself to that fucking behavior. Absolutely not. None whatsoever. So look, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. Misunderstood will be coming live in a little bit. I was gonna try to hold on until she was going live, but I feel like I'm going to almost like 2 hours, and it's like past 10 right now. So it's getting a little bit late on this end anyway. So just be on the lookout for her, and I don't know what her topic will be, but we'll be over there is where we are going. So that's gonna be it, and that's gonna be all. I don't know what day I'm going to be doing the trivia, but I'll make sure that I schedule it for members and Patreon so y'all can win some money and we can have some fun. Yes. Oh yes. The victim thing is making it even. Oh my God. They are creating they already created a monster out of her, but they are just making her even more worse. And she'll never be accountable for any of her behavior because you always have grown people trying to pacify her. And then somebody has said to BBW the other day, well, how can you call her a child when she's grown too? She has childlike behavior. I think that's the difference. People don't really view her as a grown woman. They don't really look at her as a grown woman because she doesn't act like a grown woman. She acts like a fucking little child. Like she's still stuck in her you know that video that she did where she was talking about her aunt making fun of her when she was playing softball or whatever about Big Mama? She's still stuck at that time in her life. She still look about that same and act just like that. You know what I'm saying? All right. Love you guys. And I will see you guys later. Let me go ahead and get y'all fantasy. Bye.
But if I your body, girl, I don't mind. Cause not only you, they my mind, oh. Girl, you too fine, well, light a lie. Me, I know the lie, oh. See, not only you, they my head, oh. Yeah, only you, they my head, oh. See, now you, they cause confusion in my head, yeah. Me, I know the lie, you're my fantasy. You're my fantasy. Only you, they my head, oh. Only you, they my head, oh. See, now you, they cause commotion in my head, oh. Me, I know the lie, you're my fantasy. Going on inside. Is this reality? Oh yeah. Cause I don't wanna wake up from this dream. Them say something must kill a man. Oh, na, na, na. But if I your body, girl, I don't mind. Oh, yeah. Cause not only you, then my mind, oh. Yeah, yeah. See you to find me, I know the liar. Now only you, then my head, oh. Yeah, only you, then my head, oh. See now you, they cause confusion in my head, oh. Yeah, me, I know the liar, my me, I know the liar. Only you, then my head, only you, then my head, oh. See now you, they cause commotion in my head, oh. Yeah, me, I know the liar, my fantasy. See now only you, then my head, only you, then my head, oh. See now you, they cause confusion in my head, oh. Me, I know the lie, I know the lie. Only you in my head, oh. Yeah. Only you in my head, oh. See, you the cause commotion in my head, oh. Me, I know the lie of my fantasy.